Hey everyone, and welcome to the Game Week 13 team selection video. We are back from international break, back with some important information. One new transfer in, which you might be able to see already. And yeah, let's dive right into it. So first off, I want to take us to the information. And first of all, shout out to FPL Chris, the one that always does these fixture tickers for Serie A. And there is a lot of good information about Serie A fantasy on the fantasy football community site if you click on Serie A. But one that specifically has caught my eye is about the blank and double game weeks that have been confirmed in the schedule for Serie A fantasy. And this is coming in round 19, where I believe that's when the Supercopa is occurring. And the teams that will be missing out are Como, Milan, Atalanta, Juventus, Inter, and Bologna. A lot of teams, as you can see here, these are all of the blank fixtures here. These are all of the teams that will not be participating in this week. So there's only 7 games, so 3 games won't be played, meaning 6 teams miss. Now, there's a couple different ways to look at this. I'm someone that always wants 11 players in my starting 11, but this is probably going to be one of the worst blank game weeks because, one, a lot of big name players and teams are out and not playing. But the teams that are kind of bigger that you would have players from are also facing each other. We have Lazio facing Roma, and Roma really hasn't been that great this week. Year anyway so far. But also, it's like you don't really want a lot of Lazio players around this time because look at this run of fixtures that they have. F 4 out of 5 red fixtures, Napoli, Inter, Atalanta, and Roma within these 5 fixtures. So they're not really players that you want around this point in time anyway. You could try to, like, even the Roma side will have the 2 reds, but a little bit of a better stretch before that, maybe if you want to invest that way. Um, and then the other 2 bigger name teams, Napoli and Fiorentina. And Fiorentina's looking really good this year. Like they themselves could be a red fixture this year. So the players from the big teams are going to be facing each other. A lot of people have the Napoli and the Fiorentina players, but they're going to all be within the same game. And same with Lazio. It's maybe some people have like Dobvik or Dybala. They're going to be against them, maybe still Svilar. So the big teams are facing each other, which makes this a little less great because then you're also picking from the rest of the teams that are weak, have weaker players. Maybe you trying to go for specific talisman players like Mon from Parma would be good. Tovans kind of look decent from Udinese this year. You can pick and choose some important players from certain teams and hope they come out for the week. Well, I for one do want to have 11 starting players for that week, and maybe it's a week where if some people are starting 8, 9, 10 players instead, it's a week that, while maybe not hugely, you can catch up on the rank a little bit. And so this is what I've planned from the start of the season. I have a video about this, and I think I even projected the game week correctly way back when in a wildcard video. But if we look for, I'm going to be probably using single transfers up until or multiple. I have 3 banked up right now. So 3 bank transfers and then one, two, three, four, five, 6 to come. So I have 9 transfers to play with to set myself up for this blank game week. And then I'll probably wild card into the double week where we have a ton of players that we are going to want that maybe people will just hold throughout this blank and get doubles from the following week, as you can see in the blue highlighted fixtures here. Note there will be another double at some point for Bologna and Milan as their game are called off due to weather, but this is the only scheduled kind of double game week that we know was going to be happening. Any other double game weeks are going to be because of unexpected events, whether who knows, politics, whatever could happen that could cause games to be canceled. But just want to show that this information is out there. This awesome fixture ticker that FPL Chris does all the time. It's amazing. I use it a lot. And yeah, so that's kind of enough talking about that. So how does that impact what I'm doing? Well, I'll jump into my transfer right away. And my transfer out was Teo Hernandez, and I brought in VT. Teo Hernandez blanked on the last game and got 0 points as my captain. So maybe I was a little sour about that, but it wasn't a knee-jerk transfer as I just did this now. I didn't do it right away when it happened. Also, he's getting sat, I think, behind Digne on the French team, so that seems to be a little bit out of favor. He's had some rotation issues in the Milan squad this year already. Obviously, he can have huge hauls, and I could be missing out. But I thought it was a good opportunity to one, as Milan plays Juve this week. I didn't want four players that were going to be facing each other. Um, and so it was an opportunity to bring in someone who I think has a better fixture. VT's had an amazing season so far. He plays 90 minutes on a good defensive Empoli side. So I brought in VT. VT will be someone that plays in the blank game week. So already preparing for that. I don't think I'm going to use transfers to really bring in players from these teams that will be blank in 19. I know it's a long way down the road, maybe a little early to be restricting myself to that. And obviously, if someone's going off, I have a couple extra because of those blank transfers that I can still bring in a player from one of these teams and transfer them out before that blank occurs. But just starting to shape up my team for there, not getting rid of too much at once. I still have two other free transfers. I'm not panicking and using all of them at once, but just to set up myself for fixtures a little better. The rest of the team, we have David De Gea in net, hoping for another assist, maybe even a goal this week. That was kind of lucky last week to get an assist with De Gea. Then we have Di Lorenzo, Guzens, DeMarco, and Viti making up a back four with relatively good fixtures, I'd say. While as a Juve fan, I don't really want Pulisic to score, but if Milan scores, I guess I hope it's Pulisic, as he'll be in my midfield with Lookman and Zaccagni, not benching Zaccagni again this week. And then we have Marcus Thuram, Castellanos, and Retegui. It's making up the front with Thuram, with the captaincy. I'm hoping this guy finally pulls through for me. I might need to get rid of him if the nonsense continues where everything's just going Laturo's way. But at least with that transfer, I put some money in the bank. I think I now have 3 point something. And I think the team's looking okay for the most part. If I haven't followed international break too closely, so if there are any injuries here, please let me know. But otherwise, that's kind of how we're shaping up for this week. But yeah, the main thing I thought the interesting talk point was all the blank and double talk, and we'll obviously that'll come to conversation as the weeks go by as well. Good luck in the first game week back from international break. I'll talk to you all soon. Take care.